G'day team, welcome to part 2. This is another take 2 of this video. I recorded nearly an hour of this content this morning and then I realized that I'd just been going on about kind of the same thing for a lot of the time. So something you want to do early on in creating a template is you need to fill it with the stuff that you need. So that's all doors, windows, posts. We went through some like walls and floors last time, but a lot of it's going to be components as well. So if I go CM here, the ones that came with this template, it's like a lot of trees, a couple of parking spaces, and some really random stuff. There's so much content out there, and most of it is, or a good chunk of it is free, and a lot of it is quite easy to get in that you would just need to potentially register for a website. So just like, make an account. So first port of call is if you go to the insert ribbon and then load Autodesk Family. So I've gone over this in a previous video, but this is essentially an online library that Autodesk provide. Everything in here is free and it's all quite basic, to be honest. So, if you want to load in a couple of posts, so like, maybe the chamfered column, that looks good for a concrete post, and then a rectangular column, maybe a circular column. Click on those and you go load, and then just load some straight into the job. So then when we go, okay, so they loaded in as architectural columns rather than structural columns, which makes so much sense. But yeah, look, they're just in there now. So got some chamfered columns, rectangular columns, and let's grab this, go edit. Change this to a 140 square timber post. And then we can start putting posts in like so. Doubling back to what I was saying before, right now I've just got to load in a bunch of different components. So funnily enough, having beds in the component list is actually a pretty good idea because it's really going to help with positioning a bed in a space, so you can kind of assess whether the space is legitimately big enough, or if it's too small. Like it's 530 mil through there. Probably end up putting the bed somewhere like here because we've got some windows out here, and then that's your robe. But yeah, it just depends really. So having a bed component in there is a good idea. But yeah, this template does not have many legitimate components just yet. There's a bunch of little cabinetry options in here. I call it cabinetry. You Americans call it casework. So yeah, just a bunch of options in there. I downloaded a bunch of them. I was looking at countertops before as well. I'd call them bench tops. Then yeah, looking for those online, they're just like, what do you mean bench top? And I'm like, I feel like I'm going crazy. But yeah, look, there's some pretty good stuff. There's some pretty good stuff in here. But this should be step one. So if there's nothing in here, then you have to go to the World Wide Web. There is an insane amount of stuff out there. Like I was saying, sometimes you just need to make an account. Sometimes they'll give it to you for free. In this case, so I've got one open here. It took me ages to download, not ages to download, but ages to upgrade the file, and you'll see why in a second. So this is from Reese, which is like a plumbing fixture manufacturer here in Australia. And like, look at the scale of things here. So if I just did a select all, and hopefully my computer doesn't crash. Oh no. Oh, okay. That was probably a mistake. Oh boy, what have I done? This thing took at least 35 minutes to upgrade from Revit 2018 to 2023. So, oh no. Yeah, there's 4,499 things there. So a lot of those are going to be text, like model text. But if we zoom in and go down, okay, so we've got things like rows of different kinds of wastes, different kinds of laundry troughs, different kinds of sinks, different kinds of baths. There's inset baths, freestanding baths. There's just so much, and I didn't have to make an account for this. I just was Googling, Revit family showrooms and all that kind of stuff, and just stumbled across this, and it's an absolute goldmine. We spent one of the staff members at work spent weeks putting one of these things together based off different stuff, but I just downloaded it for free in like an hour. So yeah, it's insane. So this is one of 3 that I got from Reese. Something that I would do as a functionality thing moving forward is I would break it up into pieces. So we'd have like laundry troughs, and then maybe like sinks and baths, or maybe just one Revit file for each of these things. And then the way that you would use it is, say we want to put a nice little freestanding bath in here, you would just open up that Revit file, drag it across, paste it. For Windows, there's a website called AWS Australia, which is like Architectural Windows Systems Australia. You have to make an account with them, but the windows that they have are some of the best Revit families. Yeah, some of the Revit families that they have are some of the best in the best I've ever found. So that's what this looks like. It's a fantastic website. We've got BIM objects, or BIM object, should I say, which is another really, really, really good website, which is, just there's probably the most things on here as out of any that I've ever found. Another option is one called bimcontent.com. So they do like manufacturer specific stuff, kind of like what I found on Reese, but they would use a bunch of different manufacturers. And I think it was 1 or 2 other things that I found. I'll put all the links to these things in the comments, but yeah, just one of the early things that you're going to do with building a template is just bringing tons of stuff in, and then you'll as you use it and then do more and more and more jobs, you'll work out the stuff that pops up more often, and then that should probably stay in the template, and then the stuff that doesn't should be purged out and just saved onto the server somewhere. I feel like that one was a kind of a common sense approach, but you can't really do too much to a Revit fam or a Revit file without having some decent components and stuff in there. So yeah, it's just one of those things to get out of the way early on, and then place things as you need them, and then work out moving forward. And then once you're getting into more of the nitty gritty, like setting up things like internal elevations and all of those kind of like inbuilt Revit things which you need to modify, that's just another step of things. But yeah, we're getting through it. Hopefully some of that stuff that I have shared and some of the links that I share are going to be helpful to people. So yeah, thanks again for watching. More content on the way as we work our way through a new template. But yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye.